Lorenzo J. Reyna with Lee Central Coast News here with the new guy on the block, Mr. AJ Pateras. He comes over from Ventura High. He still keeps the black and gold on. He's going over to Cabrillo. Well, I mean, has it started to hit you yet that, I mean, yeah, you're in your first year, but I mean, your first game's already like looming. Has it started to hit you, sink in yet?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of work when you get a new program. Coming from Ventura, we did a lot of different things throughout the program. So I got a good inner working of how a program is supposed to be organized, how it's structured. So it's been a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of work, getting people organized, getting collaborations with administration, with parents, building the staff, you know, learning about our kids. So it's been a lot of work, so I really haven't had a time to really think about anything but what do we need to do next and just prep our kids and our coaches.
What would you say right now is the strength of Cabrillo's team? Because most coaches in their transition, they find right away what the strength is. What would you say right now is the strength of Cabrillo?
We're young, so we're still figuring out what that's going to be. I think we've got some young O-linemen that can move, and that's really good because I like athletic linemen. We've got some skill guys that can catch the ball in space and make plays. We got a quarterback battle going on with a junior and a senior. Both, I think, can handle the workload. But we're young, so we're going to see what happens with these guys when they get a little tested. So trying to push them. Are
you running Cabrillo's practices the way Ventura High runs his practices, or a little bit different? I
would say that there's bits and things of that what we did at Ventura that I brought with me. But I wouldn't say it's exactly like a Ventura practice. I would say it's more of a mixture of things that I've wanted to do or have done in the past, or things that I like that we did when I was at Ventura. So it's a combination of things, but it's high energy. I mean, we're jumping from 5-minute station here to another 5 to a 10-minute. So there's not a whole lot of standing around. It's a very, very high intense practice.
What would you say best describes a team that's led by AJ Pateras? Like when Cabrillo gets on the field and it's led by AJ Pateras, like what would best describe that caliber of team?
Well, I'd hope they're going to be mentally tough, you know, and I think we've talked about this before, is having that, you know, ability to come into a situation and process it and then just give their best effort. I know in the past, you know, I've heard stories about everything, you know, coming in here, and I hope with these guys, I don't think they know any different with me. It's you work your butt off, you come in, clock out, and then you go home. So I expect our guys to show up, give their best effort, and be physical.
So you would say it's a blue-collar kind of mindset?
It has to be. It has to be, and I think that's the approach that I brought. Was you show up every day, you work your butt off, and then you just kind of go do your thing after.
And it was kind of like that at Ventura. I mean, it wasn't really like fancy or glitz glamour. No. It was just straight.
It was all hard work. You know, we most of our coaches when we were at Ventura were all off-campus coaches. There was only a handful, maybe 3 or 4 guys, and the off-campus guys were the guys that did the extra stuff, the guys that really made the program go, and so that's where I learned it. And so coming up when we started morning weights, it was like it was an option. Everybody's doing it. You want to play football, you're in the weight room. So we've kind of brought that intensity to the practices, intensities to meetings, to try to just change the mindset of what was, and it's just creating that new culture of how to work, how to process, and how to show up.
All right, my last question. When you look back at Cabrillo last year, what's one thing you could pinpoint that they didn't do that you would like to fix like right away?
I think they didn't tackle very well. You know, watching film, I thought that they were big up front. You know, one of our coach's sons is going down to Santa Barbara City, and they were big. They had a lot of good senior leadership. And it was the kind of one of those years where they kind of said, hey, enough was enough, and we're going to really set the tone and be physical. So, you know, looking at things, it's just trying to process everything that's been there, you know, the culture, getting the support from the admin. I think that's been the biggest thing, is there wasn't as much connection there between the program and other programs or other coaches or the administration or parents. So it was building those bridges and kind of creating those things. But on the field, it's tackling. We got to tackle better, and we're being a young team. We're going to go up against guys that maybe are bigger, faster, stronger, and or more experienced. And so if we just show up and do the things we've been doing in practice, we should be okay.
All right, so he's the new guy on the block, but we're going to keep a very close eye on AJ Pateras and Cabrillo High this upcoming year. Lorenzo J. Reyna with Lee Central Coast News. All right, thanks, man.
Absolutely.